Congratulations to the players, coaches, teams, and officials on earning a spot in the 2018 NBA playoffs. Hello everyone, I'm Joe Borgia. This video will reinforce the interpretations of several play types we shared with you during the regular season, all of which we will see in the playoffs. Let's start with freedom of movement.
On this first play, as Jamal Murray transitions up court with the ball, Austin Rivers initiates contact to Murray, which clearly affects his speed, quickness, balance, and rhythm. That makes this contact illegal and a defensive foul for affecting his freedom of movement. As Kyle O'Quinn goes to set a screen for Jarrett Jack, John Henson pushes O'Quinn past his desired position. This illegal contact affected O'Quinn's movement and is therefore a defensive foul. Freedom of movement guidelines also apply during throw-ins. During this throw-in by Boston, Ben Simmons pulls Jason Tatum's shirt away from his body, which affects Tatum's freedom of movement. Since this foul is prior to the release of the throw-in, it is an away from the play foul.
Screens are one of the most common plays in NBA games. Here are a few examples of illegal screens.
As Kem Birch attempts to set a screen for DJ Augustine, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope goes under the screen. Birch then repositions but never gets to a legal spot directly in Caldwell-Pope's path, thus initiating illegal contact. This is an offensive foul. On this next play, Jusuf Nurkic will set a screen for Damian Lillard. After getting to a legal spot, Nurkic steps twice to his left as Terry Rozier attempts to go around him. By repositioning too late, Nurkic did not give Rozier the opportunity to avoid contact and thus committed an offensive foul. Focus on the highlighted offensive player, Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, as he sets a screen for Allen Crabbe. As Josh Richardson goes over the screen, Hollis-Jefferson steps to his left and chucks Richardson. This late movement is illegal and an offensive foul. On the last play in this section, Cristiano Felicio sets a screen for Justin Holiday. As Jonathan Isaac attempts to go around the screen, Felicio extends his arms and initiates illegal contact. This is an offensive foul for an illegal screen.
This season we put a lot of emphasis on clarifying the continuation guidelines. Here is a quick refresher.
On this drive to the basket, Pascal Siakam gathers the ball here and is then fouled by Jarrell Martin. That makes this a continuation play. As opposed to the last play, Buddy Hield fouls Tony Parker on his drive to the basket here, and then Parker gathers the ball. Therefore, this is not a continuation play. On this jump shot, Dylan Brooks extends his left arm and illegally contacts Kyle Lowry's right arm here, which is prior to Lowry's upward motion to shoot, which is here. That makes this a non-shooting foul. Another example of a non-shooting foul can be seen here on this rip-through. Chris Paul is fouled by Evan Turner during his side-to-side movement, here, which is prior to his upward motion to shoot.
The next subject is verticality. Let's take a look at a few plays. One where a defender is in a legal defensive position and others where he is not.
Focus on defender Bam Adebayo during Kyle Kuzma's baseline drive. Adebayo gets to the spot directly in Kuzma's path prior to the start of his upward motion. Adebayo then jumps straight up and also keeps his arms straight, thus maintaining his legal guarding position. There is no foul on this play. As Danilo Gallinari drives to the basket, Domantas Sabonis jumps to defend the shot. The replay clearly shows Sabonis jumps sideways, to his left, and not straight up. Therefore, the contact initiated by Sabonis is illegal and a defensive foul. On the final play in this section, Mike Muscala gets to a legal spot and jumps vertically as he defends Alec Burks' drive. However, after being in a legal position as seen here, Muscala then lowers his arm and contacts Burks on his left shooting arm. This is a defensive foul.
Let's take a look at a few examples of illegal footwork, otherwise known as traveling violations.
On the first play in this section, Jameer Nelson illegally steps with his left pivot foot prior to releasing his dribble. Here, Wayne Ellington illegally slides his left pivot foot prior to releasing his dribble. On this post move by Marc Gasol, he takes 3 steps after gathering the ball, left, right, left. On this final play, Donovan Mitchell gathers the ball with his right foot on the court and illegally hops on that right foot before passing the ball.
The safety of our players is of the utmost importance to the league. To that end, let's take a look at a few flagrant fouls.
The first play in this section is an example of a hard foul which does not meet the criteria to be deemed a flagrant foul. As Malcolm Brogdon drives to the basket on this transition play, Jordan Clarkson wraps him around his midsection. There is no wind-up or follow-through, the contact is low impact, and there is also low chance for injury as Brogdon is not in a vulnerable position. This is a common foul. Keep your eye on the highlighted defender, Michael Carter-Williams, as Jody Meeks drives to the basket. Whether going for the ball or not, Carter-Williams swings his right arm and contacts Meeks' head. Since this foul has a wind-up and hard impact to the head of a vulnerable player with potential for injury, it meets enough criteria to be ruled a flagrant foul 1. Another type of contact that meets the criteria to be ruled a flagrant foul 1 can be seen here, as Quincy Acy delivers a shoulder chuck to Jordan Clarkson. This hard shoulder contact made in a non-basketball manner has a higher potential for injury and raises this foul to the level of a flagrant foul 1. Watch the highlighted defender here. This play has a high potential for injury as it involves a vulnerable offensive player. As John Collins lands from his corner jumper, he turns his left ankle on the extended right foot of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Since Giannis extended his foot into Collins' landing area, this is a flagrant foul 1. Our final example meets the criteria for a flagrant foul 2. Focus on defender Isaiah Thomas, who is highlighted here, as Andrew Wiggins drives to the basket. This play has a full wind-up resulting in hard contact to Wiggins' throat. This excessive contact is dangerous and warrants a flagrant foul 2, resulting in Thomas's ejection.
Thanks for watching, and on behalf of everyone at the league, we wish you all a successful playoff run.